Hi coders! This video is about what is aggregation in Java, aggregation advantages, disadvantages, inheritance versus aggregation, and example in Eclipse. Aggregation happens when an object contains a reference to another object. Aggregation has a relationship. Here are advantages of aggregation. Aggregation allows for code reusability by allowing multiple classes to share a single object. Aggregation provides flexibility in the design of the system because the second class can exist independently of the first class. And the disadvantages are aggregation can make programming tasks more complicated as it introduces more than one class to model the same behavior. In addition, composition and aggregation can lead to a complex object structure, making it difficult to maintain and debug the program. Let's see when to use aggregation. In inheritance, there is a relationship, while in aggregation, there has a relationship. Let's see the example. For example, we have two classes like this, the dog class and the animal class. As we can see from this arrow, it means the dog extends animals. It means the dog the child of animal class. By having this relationship, the dog can acquire everything belong to animal, which is the food as well as the method move. While here in aggregation, we have two classes like this. The first class named students. The students has fields such as ID that declare as integer and name that declare as string. It also has an address that declare as object address. This object address has street, city, and country. Therefore, the relationship between these two classes has a relationship. Student has a address. Let's see the example in Java programming.
So here I have class student that has three variables like this. ID that I declare as integer, and then name that I declare as string, and then add, it means address, that I declare as address. The address here is an object address, in this case is class address. This class address also has three variables, which is street, city, and country. I will declare it as string, like this. Now, we need to initialize these three variables through its constructor. So we will create a constructor method here like this, and this method will take three values to initialize these three variables like this. And now we will initialize the value that we take from street, city, and country to street, city, and country belong to the class address like this. Next, we will initialize the value from its object. We can create the object under student class. So here is the object for the address, and since our address requires three values, then here we will send three values. We will pass Simpruk for the street, and then we will pass Jakarta for the city, and then we will pass Indonesia for the country. Now we can create the object for the student like this. Here we need three values to pass to the student's variable. I want to pass 1, 2, 3 for the ID, then Chloe for the name, and since the add data type is address, which is come from this, then we can put the object like that. If you point here, it requires constructor, then we can create constructor here to initialize the value. So here is the method to initialize the value, which is its constructor. Take a look at here. I will pass 1, 2, 3 to ID, and I will pass Chloe to name, and then I will pass the object to the add, which is object. Now we have to initialize it. Here is how you initialize it. To be able to see it, we need to display it. So we will create a display method here like that. So this is how we display it. And finally, our job is to call the display method. since display method belong to the student, so we will use student object here. Now let's run it. So here is the logic. When we run the program, then the object for address created here by passing 3 values here. This we'll call address method, and then the value from this Seabrook Jakarta Indonesia will go to street, city, and country, and then initialize it to street, city, and country belong to the address. And then once it's done, it go back to this one, to the caller, and then start executing student's object. At the same time, it will call the constructor by passing this value 1, 2, 3, and then Chloe, and then add the object of the address, and then it will pass the value to constructor parameters here. Once it's done there, initialize it to ID, name, and add belong to the students, and let it go back to the caller. When we call the object of the student and then display method, then it will display the display method, which is displaying all the details. So here is the result.
If you learned something from this video, please subscribe and like for more videos. Thanks for watching.